What's up? If you see my eyes look maybe a little bit red, it's because I was just crying. And the reason why I was crying, it's a long story. I'll get right into it though. It's because this song came on, Myth by Beach House. It came on while I was driving to work, and I don't know, I just got really emotional all of a sudden, and that song in particular really hits those chords emotionally for me because of what I associate it with. And that association that I have with that song comes from when I had my first and only solo mushroom experience about 4 years ago. This was in 2020, and this was a time in my life where I felt like I was just starting to address the issues that I saw at that time with my dad and my relationship with him and the issues that there were within that. But I also felt free. This sense of freeness and openness, and I felt alive. And I would say during that time I had a very important self-transformation experience, and the mushroom journey that I had all alone was really transcending. And I had really beautiful experiences before this with my friends, but it was a whole nother thing. It was just a whole nother narrative, it seemed, being all alone and really being able to reflect and spend that time by myself. And I felt so at peace, and I felt no worries during that experience. It was so healing at that time, and I don't feel like I integrated it properly. Of course, I was young, but I think that youthfulness, that naiveness, has to do partially with why I felt emotional listening to that song. And once again, it was Myth by Beach House. You should definitely go give it a listen. And that song is just really nostalgic for me, and I think the tone of the song already is that bittersweet tone, so it adds on to that feeling of nostalgia, of course. But the point here is, I think the reason why I cried was because I need to let go of what once was. During that time, I have really fond memories of spending time with Will. Him and I grew really close during that time, and that was around the same time we started this YouTube channel too. And that solo mushroom experience actually has the most views on this channel as well. And although that was a time of the past, I still want to leave that video up for people to see, because that was me in the past, and I want to at least leave some videos up on this channel that can help people connect the dots between who I once was, who maybe Will once was as well, and who we are now. I think that it was the hardest part for me in that moment of that song coming on. I don't think I've ever cried when that song has come on in my car, and I think also I wasn't expecting it to come on either, but it's been 4 years. And the idea here that I want to get across, the point, is that I've attached myself every year in the springtime to those feelings that I once had, tripping on mushrooms, having these eye-opening experiences that felt so beautiful, that connected me within, but also connected me to nature, because every experience I had was outside leading up to that time. And that feeling of, it's almost like I have that urge, I suppose, to go back to that. It's like or at least I have that desire to go back to that time, because it was so beautiful. And there's so many complex things going on in the world with COVID and everything, but I still remember it fondly as a beautiful time. And like I said before, I of course didn't integrate it properly, but it was just so beautiful. I planned it so perfectly. It was right when the COVID shutdowns started happening, and since I live in California, where I live, it was the first area really to have a shutdown. And I had a whole week of no work, nothing else going on to myself, where I was able to get up early every morning, go on a run, drink a nice protein smoothie after the run, work on some YouTube or work on something else. And I was able to prepare for this journey. It kind of just came really spontaneously, and that because it came on so spontaneously, I feel like that contributed to me being more present within that experience. And it was so beautiful. I only planned it about 3 days ahead of time, and I just knew deep within that I was going to do it, and there was an intention behind it. And honestly, I don't really quite remember the exact intention, but I felt like it served its purpose at that time. And remembering it just made me emotional, because there's a lot that went on at that time. And there's a lot that I desire to experience again. And there's of course that part within me that wants to connect with the mushroom like that again, and its beautiful healing nature, which I have experienced a few times after that solo experience, but it's never been the same, you know? And I think that's the hardest thing for me to let go of, is that time. It's January right now, and it's been cold and wintry, of course, and this is a season of darkness, but there is that longing for spring within me. I feel that longing for spring and those warmer days. And I think just also connecting with that outdoor world, being in nature, seeing the green hills, the beautiful green hills in California, and the oak trees, that lush green, the beautiful baby green that there is. And as it grows over the course of the spring, it turns to a darker green, and the hills lose that lush green color, but they turn into this beautiful golden color. And that's when it starts to signify the summertime. And I love the summertime. I love the springtime. It reminds me of that year, of that whole experience, and everything that happened during that time. But yeah, that's kind of just wanted to hop on and record this. Hope you enjoyed this video. I love the winter time too. I had to embrace it as it is, and I have been for the most part, but it's definitely difficult because you're forced indoors a lot. The days are short, it's cold, rainy. It's not always fun, but I think that's part of the journey, you know? So I hope you enjoyed this. I really just felt like I needed to get this off my chest, and I'm really grateful for you if you did make it all the way to the end. So thank you. It's Alex from Shadow Ascent, signing out.